other, where they point to who wrote which post has which comments, and all that. And now you can figure out basically any kind of query afterwards. While that's the document stores, they can look very chaotic. We have kind of just a blob of data where we already pre-calculate things like how many posts has this user done, how many comments have they done, what are the most recent comments they have made, and even they don't need to look consistent. We can store completely different sets of data in one document to the other because we don't have tables and rows where we need to stick to the columns or value fields. And for people who come from relational database, they go like, oh, this is not comfortable for me. I am not good with this. Because it tends to look very unstructured and we don't know what we get. You need to be very defensive when you program for document stores. You need to assume that the data is completely inconsistent from one document to the other. And this is what we do this is why sometimes the document stores are a little bit hard to approach for people coming from a relational database. But to demystify real-time database is probably the easiest thing you can do. The real-time database can be summarized in three things: cloud, JSON, object. Copy. So, cloud JSON object. That's basically what the real-time database is. You might have the idea that the real-time database has a sense of structure, which it doesn't. In most cases where you see a code sample, or how the way you're going to use the real-time database, you create semantical meaning to parts of your data set where you say, here I'm going to have my users collection, and below that I'm just going to store my users. Over here I'm going to have my blog posts, and below there I'm going to store all my blog posts. But what it is really just a JSON object. One of the things that has been historically kind of tricky with the real-time database is that it's very limited to how you can query your data. So what you often need to do is that you would store data such as users blog post, and then you would duplicate all the data into that one and kind of like pre-sort data sorted by user, so you can now query it on a secondary field. Because in the real-time database, you have a very limited set of